Hello, everybody. If you are not familiar, my name is Justin, otherwise known as Sillin. Today, I'm going to be walking you through how to recover your DOF reality from an STM based model. What you're going to need is you're going to need what's called an STM32 F401CC. I think it's what the exact model is, but we can have links to it later. If you find these on Amazon, typically they will not have the pins soldered on, so you will need to solder them on by yourself. And you'll note that there are two buttons on here on this side here, the boot and reset button. What you're going to do is you're going to hold both of these buttons down. You will release the reset and then you will let go of boot. That will put it into what's called bootloader mode. So when I plug this in, if you see DOF HID bootloader, you probably don't need to do it all the way from the baseband. Basically, it boots into a bootloader, then kicks over into the actual first firmware slot on the device. But assuming that this was a new one, what we would want to do again is hold the buttons, release, and you're going to see that it's now in bootloader mode. So then once we see that it's in bootloader mode, and this application you see is USB Tree View, by the way, we're going to want to bring up the dig. This is a ability to set the device to have what we want. And we want to have this to where it's got the WinUSB driver. You'll install that driver, and then that will put it in what's called DFU mode. Then at that point, we can actually use the DOFReality tools to actually program the device. So after you run Zadig, then we'll bring up the programming utility. We'll come to STM to load the bootloader, and we'll hit load. There'll be a command prompt window that opens up. You'll see here on the right that it was able to write the data to the unit. And now we have a COM port. So what we would want to do is we want to come to this, hit bin HID, and then hit the reset button again on here. We're going to again see a command line window pop up showing that it's flashing. Once that's done, again, it's going to reboot again. Then we'd want to come to the T, again, load bin, and reset the device again. It's going to load that second firmware slot. So at this point, it's running an older version of the firmware. Now we need to actually update it to be the latest version. So I had to find a copy of an older set of the tools prior to the 12-bit upgrade, which I will include here. So we'll add the DOFReality tools here. Okay. So you'll see that it says that it needs to have its firmware updated. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the control key, click on Y, and then click force. That's going to force that firmware slot, which is the Y slot, to be updated. You'll see that that was successful. We'll wait for another command line to come and go. And now I'm going to do the same for the T slot. So that one didn't seem to go through because I think I needed to reselect the port. There we go. So now watching USB Tree View, and I can see it says DOF HID bootloader, and then it's there. So now that that's done, I should be able to full info. It looks like maybe that second slot. There we go. Now that second slot is up to date. So both of these should be at that version, and that is the last version available before the 12-bit upgrade. You can then follow DOF's utilities to upgrade that to 12-bit if you want. But that is how we flash a DOFReality STM from scratch.